first origin to first destination. X12 is the number of commodities to be transported from first origin to second destination, and so on. Right. We can indicate all these things. Also suppose that Cij. Cij is the cost of transportation. Cij is the cost of transporting a single unit from ith origin to jth destination. C11 is the cost of transporting one unit, single unit, one unit from first origin to first destination. We can make these notations into a matrix form. We will call this matrix as a transportation matrix, right? Like this. The matrix consists like this. In this, the number of commodities which are to be transported from O1 to D1 is X11, and this cost of transporting one unit from first origin to first destination is C11. Here it will be C12, right? Finally, C19, right? Then second row, C21, C22, C2, and finally CM1, CM2, etc. CM means CMN is the cost of transporting one unit from mth origin to nth destination. This matrix is, we will call this matrix as transportation matrix. Now the problem is, we want to find out how many units to be transported from this origin to different destinations. Again, there will be some limitations or some what we call it as some constraints, just like in linear programming problem generally, some constraints. The number of units, the maximum number of units that can be produced at origin 1, let us denote it as A1. Means A1 is the maximum production at origin 1. A2 is the maximum production at origin 2. And so on. Finally, tell me, what is this? AM is the maximum unit available at origin M. Similarly, there will be another constraint that each destination required at a minimum number, minimum quantity, that we call it as demand. Here we will call it as this is a supply. Right? This is a supply vector. Then there will be a demand vector. Demand vector means the minimum requirement at each destination. Let us denote it as like this, B1. What is B1? B1 is the minimum unit requirement at destination 1. Then B2 is minimum at destination 2, minimum requirement. And finally, Bn is the minimum requirement at destination n. How these requirements, we will call it this as rim requirements. How these rim requirements can be expressed mathematically. Now let us see. What is this? Xij is the number of units which is to be transported from ith origin to jth destination, right? And Cij is the cost of transportation. First of all, we can make it as an objective function. What is our objective actually? Our aim is to reduce total cost of transportation. Total cost of transportation. The cost of transporting one unit from O1 to D1 is C11. Therefore, cost of transporting X11 element from O1 to D1 will be C11 into X11. Similarly, then how will you make it in mathematically? Cost function, let us denote it as usual notation, that is Z. Z is equal to summation over I, summation over J, Cij, Xij. Correct. Summation over I, summation over J, Cij, Xij means C11 X11 plus C12 X12 plus etc. C1n X1n, C21 X21 plus C22 X22 plus etc. C2n X2n and so on. Finally, Cmn Xmn. How many terms? Is that M by N matrix? How many terms? M into N terms, right? You can denote it as I is equal to, here I is equal to 1 to m, j is equal to 1 to m. Okay, right. It's enough. Now, how will you make these constraints? Therefore, this is the objective function. We got the objective function. How will you make the constraints? The problem is at O1 we have only A1 elements. Maximum it is A1. At O2 it is maximum it is A2. At OM maximum is A1. Can you make it mathematically? Yeah. How you denote it as in terms of summation? Summation. Suppose we are using the notation for I equal to 1 to m. Therefore, for the first row of the matrix, transportation matrix, we can write down summation over j. We are adding upon j equal to 1 to n x xij. Xij is a total quantity which are transported from O1 then, right? It should be less than or equal to A1 first row. Therefore, generally it will be AI. I equal to what? I equal from where to where? 1 to n. 1 to n or 1 to m? 1 to m. 1 to m. Okay. This is the first set of constraints. How many constraints are here? M constraints are here, right? Now you can make the second argument, that is the requirement at each destination should be minimum B1 first destination, or generally at jth destination it should be Bj. How will you write on it? Similar. Sigma I equal to 1 to m xij should be greater than or equal to Bj. J equal to what to 1 to n. Let us see. All these xij's are number of commodities to be transported. Therefore, what condition satisfied them? Xij greater than or equal to 0. We call that condition as non-negativity constraint or non-negativity condition. That is xij greater than or equal to 0. This constitute the transportation problem. See how it is. Z is equal to summation over I, summation over j, Cij, Xij. This is to be maximized or minimized. This is to be minimized. Therefore, we will call it as minimize Z is equal to this. Minimize Z is equal to this function, subject to the constraints j equal to summation over j equal to 1 to n xij less than or equal to ai. That is, here we have m constraints, here we have n constraints. Altogether we have m plus n constraints as well as the non-negativity restriction. How it looks? This is just like the linear programming problem. Therefore, transportation problem can be considered as a particular form of linear programming problem. Isn't it? Now, second aspect is also we can reduce this. What will be sigma ai? Sigma ai means total availability at all destinations. What is sigma bj? Sigma bj is total requirement at each demand point, each destination point. Generally, this need not be equal, right? If they are equal, we will call this transportation problem as balanced transportation problem, right? If the requirement at the sum of the requirements at each destination is equal to sum of the availability at each origin, at all origin, then we will call it as balanced transportation problem. Sigma ai is equal to sigma b. Now let us consider this as a balanced. Limit our discussion to the balanced transportation problem only today. We can see how we will find out some initial solutions. There are two steps we require. First of all, just like a linear programming problem, we will fix with an initial solution, then we will move to optimality. To find out the initial solution itself, there are different methods, right? And different methods may not give the same results also, as it is an initial solution. Initial solution means the solution which satisfies these constraints and non-negative restriction only. It is not satisfying the optimality condition, right? Then we will check for the optimality and we will reach it to the optimality later. It is a procedure. Now we can see what are the different procedures for finding initial basic T0 solution of transportation problem. Let us consider an example. You can also write on it. You can work along with this. Let us write down a problem. Suppose we have D1, D2, D3, three destinations, and O1, O2, O3, O4, four origins, and the matrix which gives 2, which is the cost of transporting 1 unit from O1 to D1. 1 is the cost of transporting 1 unit from O1 to D2, and here it is 5, then 3, 0, 8, 11, 6, and 15. The final origin of 4 is 7, 1, and 9. Means it is a 4 by 3 transportation matrix. And rim requirements that we can write down like this. Here it is 7 is the availability at maximum availability at O1. 5 is the maximum availability at O2. 3 is the availability at O3, and 2 is here it is 6, 1, 10. 6 is the demand at destination 1. Look into this problem and say whether it is a balanced one or not. Is it a balanced TP or not? It is balanced. How? Why it is balanced? The total is total demand is total demand is 6 plus 1 plus 10, that is 17, and total requirement is 7 plus that's also 17, that's what is 57. Now let us look into this problem. We have different approaches for finding an initial solution. One of the most easiest method is northwest corner rule. Practically we are not using it because it is not that much powerful one for finding an initial basic solution, but still it is a method. The method says that you can allocate the number of units in such a way that you start from the northwest corner and allocate a maximum there. Whatever you can allocate there, you allocate. Right? Here you can see that in this cell, that is the number of allocation from O1 to D1, O1, D1. How much you can allocate here? How much? The requirement to O1 is 7, the destination that we have, the requirement is 6, and the origin we have 7 units. How much you can allocate? 6 only, because only 6 is available here, D1. Therefore, I am allocating here it as 6. Then the first column exhausted. Now you do not have to consider on D1 because the entire product produced at D1 has been allotted to the origin 1. You can just shade it or you can mark it like that to understand, to get the picture which is already exhausted. Now the remaining matrix, which is the northwest corner, this is the set. How much you can allocate there? Only 1. Why it is 1? Because in destination 1 we have only requirement is only 1, as well as in the origin also there is only 1 unit is remaining. Because already we allotted 6, we have only 1 is remaining, that is allotted here. Then the first row is also exhausted, as well as first column is also exhausted. Clear? Now let us see what is the northwest corner of this. This is the cell. How much you can allocate there? 5. Because you can allocate here 5. Okay. This row exhausted. Then remaining here, how much you can allocate? 3. Right? Then the last cell is 2. All allocations are over. Here it is 5 plus 3 plus 2 is 10. All requirements and demand are satisfied. This is an initial solution. And what will be the total cost of allocation in this situation? 6 is the number of units transported from O1 to D1. 2 is the cost for transport a single unit. Therefore, total is 2 into 6 plus here 1 into 1. 0 because we are not transporting anything from O1 to D1. Then what will be the total cost? 12 plus 1, 13 plus, then 53 plus, what is total? Can you compute and tell what is it? Calculate. 12 plus 1, 13, 13 plus 40, 53, 53 plus 45. 116. Is it correct? Is it 116? Therefore, cost of transporting these units using north-west corner road will give 116 is the total. Now we can discuss some other method. There is another method. There are different methods, many different methods. Row minimum method, column minimum method, and one of the other popularly used method is matrix minimum method or least cost method. Right? We will discuss it now. The same thing. You consider the same problem. Let us. Shall I just remove these allocations? Okay. Okay. This is the matrix that we have. We want to allocate using matrix. Matrix minima, look into the entire matrix and see where is the minimum cost of transportation. Where is it? Where is the minimum cost of transportation? Yeah, O2 to D2 there is only few. Sometimes it may be of the same place. O2 and D2 may be in the same place, adjacent routes. Therefore, there is no need of transportation cost. Therefore, how much you can transport from O2 to D2? Only one? One. Why? Because D2 we have requirement is, then which column or which row exhausted? This exhausted, right? Then look into the remaining part. Where is the minimum? Where is the minimum? Here is 2, which is the minimum. How many? How much you can allocate here? 6. Right? First column again, exhausted. Then where is the minimum? 5. How much? 1. Right? Then 8. How much? 4 only. Why? 1 is already allocated. Then remaining 9. How much? How much? 5 is not possible because only 2 is possible. Why? At origin 4 we have only 2 units. Therefore, 2 allocated 2 here. Then how much? Then 3. 2 plus 5, 5 plus 5, 10. This is the allocation. This is the procedure of least cost or minimum cost allocation or matrix minimum allocation. You can call it as like this. What is the cost of transportation? This matrix minimum method. What is the total cost of transportation? Complete it. 2 into 6, 12 plus 5, 17. 17 plus 32. 1 0 1 1 0. Is it right? Somebody verify it. 1 1 2 1 1 2 1 1 2. Therefore, in this situation, while comparing these two methods, matrix minima is better because we give least cost than this northwest. Right. Now we will discuss one more method, right, which is more popularly used and which will give more accurate result than these two, we hope. The method is known as Vogel's approximation. The method is known as Vogel's approximation. The cost is 215, which is like this: 308, 11, 6 and 15, 7, 1 and 9. The requirements and demands are like this: 7, 5, 3, 2, and that is 6, 1, 10. The method is, we call this, it's a method of penalty also. We are computing the penalty of assigning or allocating units in a cell which is not the least cost cell. Here we can see that the first row, this is the cell having least cost. What is the penalty if we are allocating it here? The difference between these two costs, 2 minus 1. What is it? 1. For 1 we call it as this a penalty. The same way you find, it means that you find the difference between these two costs. Here it is 3. Next, 10. 5. Okay, 6. Compute the same for each column also. What is it? 1, 1, 3. These are the penalties. What is our objective? To avoid the penalty or reduce the impact of this penalty. For that we should find out what is the maximum penalty. What is the maximum penalty? Here it is 6. In which row? 3rd row. Right? Then allocate whatever possible in the cell which is having least cost in this 3rd row. Where is the least cost? This here. Therefore you allocate maximum here. How much you can allocate here? How much? 1 only. Okay. Then which column or which row? Exhausted. This column is exhausted. Column is exhausted. Again compute the same penalty. We need not have to compute it for each column because the column is exhausted. Now compute it for the row. What is the penalty here? 2 and 5. Then it is, penalty is 3. Okay. Here it is 3 and 8. Therefore penalty is 5. Here it is 15 and 11. Penalty is 4. Here it is 7 and 9. Therefore penalty is 2. Which is the maximum penalty here? You look into the row wise as well as column wise. It is 5. Therefore you take a cell which is having minimum cost. We have only 2 cells here, 3 and 8. Where is the minimum? 3. How much you can allocate here? 5 only. Allocate 5. Then this row exhausted. Then you find out the penalty for each column. Here it is 2 and 7. Therefore penalty is 5. Here it is already exhausted. Here it is 5 and 9. Therefore penalty is 4. Then again which is maximum? Maximum 5. Look into this column. Where is the minimum cost? 7. How much you can allocate here? Only 1. Why? Already we have given 5 here. Therefore we can assign only 1. Then again compute. This is exhausted. Then compute the same for this. Only there is only 1, 2, 3 cells unfinished. Therefore where is the minimum cost? Here it is. How much you can allocate here? how much here? 7 is the requirement, 10 is the demand. 7. I think it is correct. Okay. Then least cost here how much? 2 already exhausted here. 1 and 1 is given here. So for here 3. Okay. Finished. Now you compute the total cost of allocation. Compute the total cost. So for which gives the least one? 98. Okay, okay. 96 or 98. 98. Okay. Again, which is the least one? Vogels means Vogels approximation give more accurate result than northwest or matrix. But still, remember this is not the optimal solution. Optimal solution in the sense that we have to check again. Is there existing any solution which is better than this one? Right? For that, again there are different methods. Modified distribution method is the things we will discuss in the next session. Okay? Any clarification? Anything? Okay.